If you're buying a dash cam, the most important question isn't necessarily which one is the best, it's whether it'll actually capture what you need if something happens. But there isn't really a one-size-fits-all solution. In this video, we'll tell you the different factors to consider and help you determine which one will work best in your car. First up is the video quality. Having a dash cam with lots of bells and whistles doesn't mean anything if you can't see the details of what you've recorded, so resolution is important. The most common are 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. The higher the number, the clearer the video. The other number you'll typically see is the frame rate. Common frame rates are 30, 60, and 120 frames per second. Higher frame rates mean smoother motion, and in some cases, more usable detail. Then you have HDR and WDR. These features help provide a clearer image in dark and bright environments by cutting down on glare from headlights and streetlights at night, and glare from the sun during the daytime. They also improve details in the shadows. These features can make a big difference in real-world driving where lighting conditions change constantly. Next is the field of view, or FOV. The higher the number, the more the camera can see, but a higher number isn't always a benefit. If the FOV is too wide, the image can start looking distorted. You want to choose one that covers the lanes on the roads where you typically drive, while not completely changing the shape of the cars. 140 degrees is a good target for front-facing cameras, and 160 degrees is good for a rear-facing camera. That being said, a 4K camera with a wider FOV is typically okay, as the higher resolution will compensate for some of the details lost. Now you'll need to figure out which areas of the car you want to cover, just the front, the rear as well, or even inside the cabin too. That answer will help you determine whether you need a camera with 1, 2, or 3 channel recording capabilities. But keep in mind, just because a camera says it's 2 or 3 channels, doesn't mean it comes with all the cameras necessary in the box. Sometimes, those need to be purchased separately. Daily commuters are typically fine with a single or dual channel model to cover the front or the front and rear of the car. Rideshare drivers, however, should consider adding a 3rd channel camera with an infrared feature to cover the inside of the car to keep themselves and their passengers safe. But what about when you're not in the car? This is where having a parking mode on your dash cam can come in handy. How many of you have parked your car, stopped into the grocery store, and come back out to find a new dent in your door or your bumper, but no way to see how it happened? A dash cam with a parking mode can detect an impact even when the car is turned off. It's most effective when you have a front and rear-facing camera, but even if you only have one, it's still a feature worth considering. But keep in mind, for parking mode to work effectively, the camera will need to be connected to the car's battery or to a battery backup. Which brings us to the next consideration: power supply and installation. Install costs will vary based on your vehicle and the features you want. A simple install would be a camera that suction cups to your dash and uses a 12-volt plug or a USB port for power. This is generally easy to do yourself. A complicated install, where the camera is mounted in a more permanent fashion and the power cord is hidden and connected directly to the car's battery or fuse box, typically requires a professional. Both options can provide great results, but the ease of the install will likely impact the total cost. The more integrated you want it to look, the more work is typically required. Now let's talk about how the video footage is saved. Some dash cams will save to the cloud, which gives you easy access to the footage anytime you need it, but often requires 4G LTE service, which can mean additional monthly fees. Some have built-in memory so you can use the camera right out of the box, but having fixed memory does limit how much footage you can store, and makes transferring the files more complicated. Other cameras use memory cards. This lets you store more footage, and it's easier to move that footage to another device, but it's an added expense, and you have to make sure the card you get supports dash cam use. Still, for most people, this is the best option. Also remember, most dash cams use loop recording, meaning they are constantly overwriting old footage to conserve space, and only saving footage when an event occurs, or you choose a specific event to save. Many new dash cams also have companion apps which allow you to take advantage of all the available functionality. If you like the idea of having an app for your camera, it's a good idea to try it out before making your final decision. There is no single best choice when it comes to dash cams. Budget, where and how you drive, and where you park will help determine which one you should use. Once you nail those down, choosing the right one becomes much easier. But if you still need assistance, give us a call. One of our dashcam experts will be happy to help you find one that'll work great for your budget and in your vehicle. Check the description for details. Thanks for watching.